remove just for a while. Hello there. We are live. I can't hear you. I forget to ask what's happened, Chida. You lost your sound. So, hello everybody. This is episode 112 of DevKami, and I'm Swimming.
And I am Tristan, and Chi Leong is currently
Having
without
a
a
bad sore
voice
throat.
because we can't hear him.
Yes. So, as usual, so what happened recently? So, Tristan, what happened recently?
I don't know. Nothing happened recently.
Okay.
Oh, we had
Can you
the
guys
the
can you guys
Ruby.
hear me now?
Oh yeah, now you
Finally.
can hear you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. The icon are missing. So, I built a camera app that meant to be used for my deep learning using Flutter. So, I do not know how it will work yet. Let's see how it goes. So that's one. Then I'm spending the whole night trying to figure out advent of code for today. Today is especially hard. So yeah.
Does it always become more difficult as
Yes.
it
Yes.
becomes closer to 25?
Yes. It's a challenge that get progressively harder. Except today is like it's like rocket, so it's deep.
Yeah, but
The question is
it was really easy for the past few days.
yes.
Mm.
So also I have some interesting observation as well. But let's start
When's
with
the
our best
last
call.
day? When's the last day of this one? Sorry.
25.
Christmas?
25. Oh, I only get my vacation end of like after 25, so I don't think I can catch up, unfortunately. Speaking of
So
catch up,
so we have one event next week. This is new. I do not know who added. This is Azumi, CEO of Faith, CTO of Faith. So he will have an online event. If you're interested, join them. The link is on devkami.com. And yeah, so the searching is here. Azumi is a long time people in the tech community. I know him since Barcamp days. You know, one of those guys from Barcamp KL that goes big, unlike me, that is going nowhere. Let's not go.
No, you're going back as well. Everybody is going big. DevKami is big.
Yeah, DevKami is big. I'm only as bad as DevKami. So don't forget to subscribe, click, and all that. So just so that I can keep bigger. Also, I will add Patreon later, so it's that. So that in fact, unfortunately, this is the only event until after Christmas actually. Unless some of you guys have something interesting to add to us, tell us. We want to know.
Yeah.
So with that being said,
I have
let's
one.
start with
Maybe
What happened?
later during Buzz Corner. No. Like another contest for free hardware, but let's put it after
okay.
like this one.
Okay. So the first one is somewhat related. Do I have a few of those? No, unfortunately, I don't have a few of those. So recently, Red Hat essentially just killed CentOS.
Yeah.
So CentOS essentially is now rolling release, meaning it's not as stable and all that. So the reason why people want to use CentOS or Red Hat is one, that's cheap. Second, get reasonably stable software to be run on server, so nothing experimental and all that.
It's the same as
Red Hat, well.
Rail.
So unfortunately, well, you have two options. You can pay Red Hat, which you should, because open source software developers need to eat as well. But that being said, one of the spirit of open source free software is to
No,
freedom
my
to use whatever you
issue
want.
with CentOS, the CentOS move to Stream is that isn't there's already a Fedora?
Yes, precisely. Then according to some of the community members, is Fedora is very ahead. I don't know about that. So yeah, so this is what happening now. Me, on the other hand, I'm a Debian user. If I set a server, I tend to be a Debian user or Ubuntu if I'm extremely lazy. But that's just me. So shall I move on? Anything
Yeah,
else you
sure.
want to add? Okay. By the way, good luck to you guys that have to migrate. So yeah. Okay. So by the way, before I go on, today's bus corner is haphazard because I did not prepare for everything because I spent too much time on advent of code. More of that later. So, who knows about Web Things Gateway?
What is that?
So,
I have
Web
no
Things
idea.
used to be a Mozilla project. So, it's a gateway to actually protect your Internet of Things devices behind the scene. So,
Yeah.
it's like a router for your Internet of Things
How about
devices.
how about don't use it in the first place? Sorry.
Huh? Yes.
How about don't use it in the first place?
Yes.
How about secure
I
your
would-
internet of things in the first place?
No, these things are supposed to help you secure it, but
Yeah.
so it won't be a hosting service. This is something that you put on a Raspberry Pi, your spare laptop, and all that. So the idea is you can actually have one way to communicate the devices and all that. No? So interesting idea. I hope they pick up because nowadays a lot of the internet connected devices have tendency to talk to web and to a third party services which you
Yeah.
not actually control. Which leads me to the next
Of course,
thing.
it's convenient because then you can always catch up on your devices anywhere. Like
Correct.
you
Correct.
can check your room temperature while you're away in the office.
Yes. Or turn on the light on your on the Chinese New Year, which is coming soon, the month after next month. So you can actually check out your house just in case somebody want to rob you, assuming they do not want to rob your devices. And also, talking about Internet of Things, I bought this book. Uh, it's called Enchanted Object. It's less toward pure Internet of Things, which I still think is a dirty word. It's more of uh, embedded devices as a magical object. So it's something that magical, but yet like a wand or flying carpet. You can pass it to another. You do not need magical power to use it. Very interesting. Review on that later. These are related within the old book. So let's move on. Cloudflare is moving to already moved to ECH. Explain to me in a better term because I'm not as good about this than you guys.
I am not sure as well.
I have to read about it. I saw it, but I've been busy for the week, so I've
Is
not
this
been
the
able to check.
one with collaboration with Apple?
No, this is a different
No.
thing.
This is
Oh,
the
okay.
DOH, right?
Yeah,
The DNS over HTTPS.
correct.
They added one that the what call it, the encrypted, and then there's oblivious, right? They call it
No.
something.
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
But I had to
So
read
I
about
think
it.
yes.
Yeah, the only
On the
one
other
that I
hand,
know was the like instead of doing the DNS together with the same request as like the actual connection, you do the
yeah,
DNS request separately. And so you can't
yes,
say, oh, you requested this and then you connect it to this server. Then the
yeah,
ISP knows that you are like connecting to this particular server, right? Because you requested the
correct.
DNS.
Correct. I didn't read about the new DNS protocol,
Yeah, I
but
didn't follow up. I
uh,
do run a Pi-hole at home, but not
yeah,
the vanilla one. I use Pi-hole just for the app blocking.
right.
And then the DNS provider is actually a DNS over TLS or HTTPS provider, which is
Yeah,
called a DNS script proxy.
yeah,
So yeah, so Pi-hole is for the rules to block domains,
yeah.
and I have a what you call it, a round robin mechanism to rotate my secure DNS lah. But it's actually the main thing is to block ads across
So
all
the thing
devices.
is, this is why you need to stay with Chidium about it, or some of us, because we're sysadmin and we know about our infrastructure. Just keep it. Don't leave it here. Just keep it. If you want to, so he's a nice guy.
Yeah. Well, you
So
can pay him to set up
yeah,
your home
yes.
network.
No, if
Uh,
it's actually not that hard to do.
yeah, it's not hard to do
Yeah,
actually.
it's
You
not hard
just
to
do it
do.
yourself.
Oh, so
There's
Because of
especially
Microsoft,
for especially for
you
Raspberry Pi, there's a lot of really nicely bundled packages you can just use. But
yes,
the advanced thing is when you know how to do things, then you can switch up certain parts lah. Like how I switch away the DN instead of using the DNS mask, I switch it to my whatever that I prefer. So,
Yeah.
but you still can
So-
achieve the same thing.
correct. And knowing this thing is actually awesome because it's effectively superpower. So let's move on. Remind us to cover the Apple and corporate DNS thingy next time. I understand why they may want to do it, but I need to.
This is the popcorn going on right now.
Yep. So too many things on both sides. One is accusing that Google's model are too big and have bias that is not inspected. On the other hand, Google are saying that the paper did not meet the standard as a result. So both sides have their opinion. I'm leaning toward the team in this case because here's what I think about machine learning model. Often your machine learning model is the 200 megabyte. So recently I've been telling you guys about the cake detector that I'm building, which also detect hot burger. So what happened is I'm using YOLO v4, which is supposed to be new and all that. But as you train your model, you get like 200 megabytes, right? And your machine learning model will only get bigger and bigger and bigger. So, and your machine are not growing as fast because you are supposed to do it on the cloud, which is actually a bit. On one hand, the cloud is reasonably accessible, but it's expensive. It's like 3,000 ringgit a month, $3,000 a month if you use it fully. So you need to know how to budget it. So your machine learning model only get bigger and bigger, and it's harder and harder to reason, and worse, it's actually harder and harder.
It's a good thing to have people to check to have a check and balance.
Correct.
But it get more complicated because there's an argument because
Yes.
There's some dismissal and some conflict.
Correct.
Yeah, statements.
Correct. So
I'm not charging on my side. I'll just see whatever that is the beneficial for all parties.
Correct. For me, I hope that we get reasonably good enough machine learning model to be used. And all that. So the next one is FireEye is one of the big cybersecurity firm, but one of the members in engineers.ny, which is a security person, are saying that yes, it's a big deal, but the state, the tools they use are not necessarily used by state. They're not the most advanced and all that. So, but still, they actually disclose the breach and how it went with the postmortem. So it's still something.
From what I understand, it's a phishing attack.
Yeah. And I'm going to move on because I'm not a security person. Important, but I suck at this. So
the lesson learned is that nobody can be safe from it. The only safe thing the safest thing for your computer is just unplug the power.
Yes. Or in my case, I'm going to hide in a cave and all that
You still might get hacked from a cave.
Yes. So next one, Fuchsia was there for a while, but finally it accepts community code contribution. I don't know how to run it yet.
It's interesting for Fuchsia because Flutter was originally designed to do the late UI for Fuchsia.
Yep.
If I remember correctly. So it's interesting. It's an interesting development because it's just my opinion because I don't see Android is moving any forward.
Yeah, it could be. So it could be they want to replace Linux with Fuchsia on Chrome for Android.
Yeah, probably.
So with compatibility layer, which is not a bad thing. We can because we can use more OS for a long while. Operating system is like Linux, Windows, the big three So we can use more actually.
The one thing that is scary for some, especially free software folks, is because Google is rewriting this from scratch.
Yes.
So they actually they are not, liable to the GPL license that affects the Linux kernel and GNU's subs.
So they're only officially they're only responsible for
this.
For the GNU utils if they choose to use it and whatnot. So that which is actually a problem. I don't mind more choices, but I just hope that this don't lead to more.
I hope they don't.
Uh-huh.
I hope they don't gang up and come up. Everybody comes up with their own closed system.
Yeah, precisely. So I mean, I'm biased. I'm a Linux user, but I mean, I don't mind. So that's our story. Let's move on. Microsoft team had a new RCE user thing. I clicked this because I just scroll through Bus Corner on
Yeah, there's
engineers.ny,
some.
which is
If you dig a bit, there's some also some popcorn behind the story of this.
right.
Yeah.
So if you're interested, join engineers.ny and go to Bus Corner. You'll see whatever we're talking about.
But the popcorns are at random.
Yes. Next one, Cloudflare again is testing Jamstack. So interesting because it's totally expected because Cloudflare actually runs an infrastructure for service workers and all that.
I'm actually surprised because over the years they are gradually offering services that gradually not unrelated to them. I mean,
Yeah. So the thing is,
like
Cloudflare
the
always
Kafka
want to-
Actions, like which is
Yeah.
they have their own lambdas like service.
Yes.
They have they now they are gonna have something like a GitHub pages. Netlify. Yeah.
But Cloudflare always want to actually control the network infrastructure, at least have a bunch of network infrastructure under them, which
I think
not
it's
really comfortable with.
gonna be they get benefited if there's more traffic going through them.
Correct. Because this, on the other hand, the internet pipes are very expensive. So if they can optimize it with more thing and more income to run it, good for them. Running too many things, something to take a look, something to think about lah. So let's move on to the last one, Superbase.
No, sorry. The Cloudflare one is also a bit of it can be a loss leader of sorts because they still offer their CDN services, right? And so if one of these like small sites ever make it big, the infrastructure, their stuff is already on the Cloudflare infrastructure. So
they are already a registrar,
on, right?
Yeah.
Also, something that probably people didn't know is that they are already a registrar, but only supporting a limited number of domain names. But they actually don't charge for the fees, so the domain name that you get are actually much cheaper.
It's also limited. You can't buy a domain. You can only transfer a domain to them, and then they continue on. So that means the initial fees for like getting the particular domain, right? Like the first instance of a domain being available, they don't do that. But you have to buy it somewhere else, like GoDaddy or Namecheap, and then transfer it over to Cloudflare.
Correct. So yes, interesting development, a bit vary, but so let's see. So the next one is our. So we actually support these guys for a while, so they're already on beta now. So if you're interested, share with them. Are we using it? Not yet. Is it interesting?
Yes. What Superbase is supposed to be an open source alternative to Firebase. That is back. The database platform is Postgres. But they are trying to provide the product parity with Firebase lah. At least an open source or an alternative.
Yep. So the last one before I open Tristan's link is okay. So startup is finished. So you want to binge it. The ending is very good. I like it. There is problem with that, but there is some issue with that. Not a big deal. Enjoy the show. Just enjoy the show. If you're a startup crowd, guys. So yes. So this one is
So this is a context. If you scroll up towards the very top, you'll see that there's an apply for hardware. In the like overview rules, just below the banner, it said just below the banner the challenge climate change. No, the banner, not that.
Oh, okay. I had to click on the banner. Okay.
Just below it. See, it says apply for hardware. It said, you have to stop scrolling so much.
Okay.
It has you have 221 out of 250 devices remaining. You can actually apply for free hardware. This hardware is an ARM M4. together with an FPGA, a small FPGA. It's only like 200,
Yep.
2,400 logic cells, and there's
Okay.
9 days remaining. So you are most likely to get a free hardware
Yep.
if you start applying now. So I would
Okay.
suggest everyone to just like apply for this. If you need, you can do. There are sensors on this. Like I think there's an IMU. There's like temperature sensor and
Right.
there's a third one I forgot. And you can do
Yep.
machine learning on the M4 and on the FPGA as well. So
Yep.
if you would like to try it out, maybe you can try this one, swimming as well. But
Yeah, I
I don't
might.
think it has enough power for image processing though.
Yeah, that's the thing. I doubt it.
So
So I need to figure
but
out what you can do.
you don't probably not you don't process the image probably here. Maybe you just like uh save the image, transfer it into a
Yeah.
larger one that does the image processing. But the thing
Yep.
here is that it seems that they are willing to give away their products, just like if you'd remember the Azure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I forgot that one, the
Yes.
thing. So it's the same thing. You just get free hardware, and this one
Yep.
might be a much more like a better deal than that one, because
Yep.
the Azure Sphere thing is Microsoft only. This one is fully open source, except
Yep.
for maybe
Okay.
the ARM F4. The ARM M4
Yep.
I don't think is open source, but the FPGA is open source, and the whole schematic is available. So
Yeah.
try it out.
Yeah.
So
We'll put the links
another.
on the comments as well, right?
Yep. Somebody do it then. So it's actually talk about hardware. So while I'm working on the cake detector for phone, I discovered one thing. So one of the hardware I'm really looking at is K210. K210.
What is that?
Is it the Kendrite? The
Yeah,
Kendrite
yeah,
one?
yeah. So the
Mhm.
thing is, what people have done is they use the model that they use actually only goes as far as the YOLO V2. Nowadays we have YOLO V3 as reasonably standard because it's there a long time ago, and nowadays, but these guys can only run YOLO V2, which is actually a bit disappointing because the key detector is built on YOLO V4, so I need to actually retrain it, which is a bit annoying. But
I just got
actually I look at it.
Yeah, I just got this one. I just bought this one. I think it's delivering tomorrow. The one that
Right.
the Mike's Duino kit, just below
Right.
that. No, just below
Okay.
that.
This one.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I think tomorrow. So by tomorrow I should be having it. It's too bad it didn't get in time for DevKami, but I wanted to try out risk programming. The other one,
Right.
remember when you mentioned about, I think was it Nicholas who mentioned that
Yeah.
there was like a free RISC-V by Cyped,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
is being delivered through DHL as well soon.
Right.
So yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I get like my RISC stuff working.
I'm looking through the hacksters.io, and
Yeah.
there's a course actually if it's if you plan to fool around, apply for the free hardware, but did not submit anything, you're gonna be flagged by the team.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
So yeah, be nice. I mean, be nice. You only ask for it
yes.
if you are going to be serious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
So
Well,
in
if
case
you're
anyone
actually going to create a project, right?
yeah, in case anyone took
Yeah.
our message wrong, I go like you don't remember the Hacktoberfest issue, like
Yes,
yeah,
that
we
one
try
that
not
is
to be that.
horrible.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the project, those hardware actually take effort to do. So please
Yeah.
don't ask for free and all that. So what
no,
I'm
you
actually
ask for
looking
free if you're serious.
Yes, I mean you quote unquote pay with the project. Right.
Yeah, which is like I mean, you don't, of course, just don't get it for the hardware and then you don't do anything about
Yeah,
it. That
yeah.
doesn't make sense. But it's like
Yes.
if you're interested in FPGA programming, or at least some ARM M4 and some sensing and ML, then this is a
Yeah.
great opportunity because you get free hardware and you don't have an excuse to not do something because you don't have hardware, right? You can start
Correct.
experimenting with embedded FPGAs.
So what I'm looking at is actually this guy because they got a small camera. So one of my quote unquote big idea is I want to make something that is pendant size or watch size. So the big idea is so that I can actually have something that lock whatever that I eat, then nag me for eating snack. But then I'm crazy. So
Yeah, that
the reason,
camera is the same as the one that I showed, the OVM something something.
yeah, yeah,
The
yeah, yeah,
camera
yeah,
that you
yeah.
showed with the ESP32 cam, like that's small enough.
Yes, yes. Actually, ESP32 can run can actually run some deep learning, tiny YOLO, meaning it's not the most advanced on the planet, but that's the thing. A lot of these things are actually reasonably fast. Actually, sorry, reasonably old-ish. It's not really the fastest thing on the planet. So another thing I'm
Yeah.
looking
Meanwhile, I
at
still
is,
have my, I still have a spare Raspberry Pi. I'm not doing anything with. I'm still
yeah.
looking for ideas.
You can
So
run the
this is
WebThings gateway on your
yeah,
Raspberry
I
Pi.
already have a gateway. But originally, I want to replace that, but thinking that if I replace it, people around the house won't have access to the internet for a while,
Mm,
yeah,
because I want to make use of the 64-bit OS for
mhm.
all
yeah,
the memory instead of I of course I if I take out the SD card, it will work. Just replace it will work, but I wouldn't be able to make use of the extra RAM.
Mhm.
yeah, precisely. So last one, this is actually the thing that I'm looking at as well, because I just want to put the cake detector on these guys now. Just be
Mm.
going crazy.
Yeah,
So
so
that being said,
Citron sells this one and the Mike's
yeah,
Duino that I just bought. I just bought it from Citron. It's not that bad. I mean, they don't. It's still cheaper in DigiKey, but I'd rather like
yeah,
just buy it
Are they
from
having
Citron.
sales soon?
I doubt it.
Citron, they
They
said
have a
they are
lot.
going to have a 12-12 thing, but I don't
Yeah,
know.
because
Yeah,
Visas pass tonight. Tonight is gonna be 12/12. Oh,
no, today is just 10. Tomorrow,
really? Oh, okay. I kept thinking that today is 11.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
Yeah, I'm from
tomorrow,
another time zone.
the Maybank, so it's public service announcement, Maybank is going to be down, like Maybank to
What?
you, and debit card transactions are going to be down tomorrow.
What? A
So
jaw
okay.
drop.
careful.
Another thing that I
Do
want to
your
hack.
stuff now.
Final thing I want to hack. Talk about hacking.
Jetson.
The official Jetson car, if that is
Yeah,
expensive though.
Jetson is the
I think.
Amazon thing, right? No.
No, the Nvidia thing.
Okay, okay. I get mixed up with the names.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
The
I
Jetson
understand.
is
Totally.
Nvidia from Nvidia.
Yes. This one I'm interested because I actually genuinely want to have these guys patrol around the house, the street, but then the dog will eat them. So
Yeah, you have
that's
to waterproof it though, and pet
yeah,
proof
that's me
it.
being crazy. Just me being crazy. So that being said, stop sharing. So who I know Chilong did advent of code. Tristan are too busy.
No,
Tristan are too
sorry.
busy. So I've been doing that as well. But unfortunately, I don't have any commit today. I may commit day one, but the thing is, man, it's a mess. I don't understand the question. Oh, I shouldn't actually.
Let's
Actually,
start
I should
with
not.
day one. Let's spoil day one and see
Okay.
what it is and
Okay.
how you
I
approach
think the
it and how's
takeaway for a
everything.
fan of code is that uh finish it because
Yeah.
because I don't think any one of us really finish it every year.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. So this.
yeah, I don't care if I get stuck for more than certain time. I'll get the spoiler. I don't care.
Yeah. So this is the
Yeah,
advent of code challenge, right?
yeah.
Too small,
This
too
is
small.
my
You have to make it larger.
GitHub.com. Oh no! Now you see my porn. Just kidding.
I wonder if there's a domain called getporn.com. I'm sure there is.
Be
Yeah.
careful of what you ask for.
Yeah.
Yes. Rule. What's the rule
No,
number? Do you remember?
getporn would just be like really, really nice commit messages,
No,
like
no.
really well formatted commit
do,
messages, you know?
do not Google it. Do
Okay.
not Google it.
So
PSA.
advent of code. Let's show off a few things before we go on, and also show how pathetic the engineers.my people are. I just submit my solution today. I still get a number 4. So pathetic. So
Yeah, but feel free to join. Feel free to
yes,
discuss.
join us.
Why am I there? I'm not even
No,
joining.
because
Why
you
is
were
my name
there from the previous years.
Last year, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
Oh,
you
it's the
only need
same
to join
team.
once. Yeah, it's the same
Yes,
team.
correct.
I feel bad now. Now I
So
have to do it.
You know the one that with bragging rights supposedly is Ivan,
yeah. Yes,
even though he only solved 3, like
do it by
because
hand.
he's doing it by he did it by hand.
Yes. It's all
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. This year, the goal is at least stick with it.
yeah.
Spend as yeah, stick with it.
Or I might just cheat because I already did. Actually, I'll try to understand why they do that.
So
I try
let's
to-
start it with day
I try
one.
to hack as much as possible. Then at least Google a bit on some of those. If you don't want to really cheat directly, but it's actually fine. It's fine.
Okay. So
Yeah.
At least you learn
what's the point of advent code, and what are you supposed to be doing?
You mean the
Like
story
introduction.
or the concept?
Yeah, the like what are we supposed to be doing for people who don't
Okay,
know
so-
what advent of code is?
Advent of Code is a coding competition that don't have
It's not a
prize
coding
like
competition.
bragging
It's a
rights.
problem-solving competition.
Yeah, it's a problem solving competition.
A
but
lot
in
of people
practice-
actually solve it without coding.
Yeah, but for lazy people like us, in practice we use code because we're lazy as hell.
One common way of people solve it is using Excel.
Yep.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's a
I-
problem.
I-
That's why
it's
it's a
applicable.
problem solving. It's a problem
Excel
solving.
has a
If you don't want to pick it as a contest, then it's an event to
Yep.
to
Correct.
force yourself to
Yeah.
like you are given a question a day, and they're gonna give you the question for not question the some of the description is gonna be confusing for you. It's actually a training for you to get started and get to solve your problem, and also the lesson is do not overthink for advent code. Even though it seems complicated, but often the answer are very simple.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So like today, I got a feeling I misread the answer actually.
Yeah.
It's
Often
very
the
likely.
answer is really simple. It's just
Often-
us that.
Yeah, the answer is within yourself.
Yeah.
It's
Or
inside
the
you
solution.
all along.
No, the solution is we just overthink a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So
Advent of
in
code
today's
is a
case-
competition whose your main enemy is yourself.
It's yourself.
Yes.
Yeah. To me, it's yourself.
So you
Yeah.
if you don't have a prize, but what you do have is bragging rights or bragging to yourself, lah.
Mhm.
So for day one, for example,
Yeah.
this is a question. After saving Christmas for 5 years in a row, you decided to have a vacation on the island, then you have to collect stars. And the whole thing is cash only and use stars. So you have to collect 50 stars, which is this one. So that essentially turn the question into like the scoring quote unquote into stars. And so you have to solve 2 puzzles. The first one is an easy puzzle. The second one is the not so easy one. So often it's math. Sometimes
So
you
wait,
don't
this
even
is
know.
sorry. Okay, so that's a two-step thing. You find
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 entries that sum to 2020, and then you
Yeah.
multiply them together. So there are only 2 entries that sum to 2020.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, so so I guess it's a brute force thing, unless you want to factorize everything and then
Yeah.
you
Often
you do a
Yes.
prime
It's actually
factorization
okay.
of
most
things.
common way is to brute force.
Yes, because
Okay.
believe it or not, even though the data looks quote unquote big as well, but you can do it on a 10-year-old PC. That's what they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The purpose is even if you brute force, you can get the answer quickly.
Yes.
So if
Well,
it's
of course, the elegance there that happens after is how do you reduce the domain such that even if you brute force, it's not as bad as like doing the brute force on the whole set,
correct.
right?
Correct.
Like for
Yes.
example, like you know that one of the numbers is greater than 2020, so
Yeah.
of course that's already gone from the thing,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
and a bit of dynamic programming involved if you want
Yeah.
to.
Correct. And believe it or not, which is why you can actually do it in Excel, because Excel is also for dynamic programming.
Yeah.
So in fact,
So
the
and
code is like very
and
short.
sometimes is that sometimes you
Uh-huh.
can hyper optimize it, but sometimes is that the first part might be needed for the part 2, but sometimes they are not unrelated. Like the yesterday one was unrelated. Today can be, but it's actually easier to rewrite it.
Yes, because it's a two different problem.
Yeah.
So this is a brute force solution then.
Yeah.
correct.
Look at the for loops.
Because it's so small. Yeah. It's
Mm.
horrible.
But this is
I'm
I think it's
assured.
a knapsack problem.
Yeah, correct. So if
So you need to have enough memory to store all of the combinations.
Oh, definitely gonna be enough.
Yeah.
It can write. It's supposed the data and your algorithms. I mean your code's supposed to be able to run comfortably on a low power Raspberry Pi machine.
Yeah, correct. So
Quite
unless you
good.
live in the 60s, you will solve this problem easily. So yeah. So and in fact, you can write the most ugly code to solve it, and that's totally fine. Right? That's
So what's the
totally
most
fine.
elegant solution that you found on day one?
Let's
anyone
see.
or everyone just brute forced it and called it a day?
Oh, there are some elegant ones.
Yeah,
Yes,
for
there
day
is some
one, what's the
elegant
elegant one?
Let me see whether there's day one. I do not know. Because I didn't actually look at these guys. This is the first time I look at this forum.
Okay, then
Oh, by the
maybe.
way, so for example, this is a good one. This is an awesome one. Do you know what's his full name? Norvig.
Peter.
Peter Norvig. Do you know him? He actually wrote an AI book. He used to be director of artificial intelligence.
Oh, so he's not the antivirus guy.
Not
No,
Norton.
are you comparing him with Norton?
Just kidding.
So, for example, his solution is actually very cool. So, in a way that day one, he literally just do it like few line of code. The thing is, his solution also had a tendency to be very least-like.
Yeah, see, this is what I was telling about. This is reducing the problem space. So you know that something that's greater than 2020. So you actually subtract 2020 from the things and find out, okay, is this thing like one of them is similar to that? You don't have to do all of them.
It's a good place to learn tricks in, like, let's say, because he did it in Python, you can learn the tricks in Python. You're gonna be helpful in your other ways, in a way. Like what I learned from previous looking at people's solutions from previous FNU code is that I'm applying some of them this year.
Yeah, I keep doing the same thing over and over with the problem. So Peter Norvig had a very good solution, but then most of his code example is very awesome. He can give the most complicated thing and write it in a very simple code that you would understand.
He does comments and tests.
Yes, I feel bad because his code actually run in one line effectively and
one line and readable.
Yes.
And not one line and confusing. And
yes.
He even have type signature for.
Yes. Yes. So yes. So this is one of the cool one that I see because it's short and also it's very readable. I don't have other on my list though. Choose one. I don't have one. You have one on your list? No. So here's another example.
This is going to be interesting to Andy.
Yeah. How does it work?
I think it's working. No, is it?
Yeah, it is working, but I do not know how it works.
No, I think that 0 is the answer.
Okay.
Yeah, 0 is the answer.
Yeah. Okay. So you can actually do. I know that's the answer. So this is one of the thing that we meant that you can use a spreadsheet if you want to, and you can. And you should. You really want to.
But you know, these spreadsheets, they're actually a programming language that does things in a 2D space, right? So you map functions and equations to a 2D space. Whereas, for example, in normal programming language, it's just 1D. It's like your line and then you have an output, line output, and then you have like you go through and then you move around. But in a
Yes.
spreadsheet, you can actually do it like you can move around the spreadsheet in 2D. So there's
Yep.
two-dimensional programming,
Yes.
which I think like might be a future of programming languages. Like there might be
Uh,
some classes of
put it,
problems that cannot be described in a line by line programming, and you need a 2D type of programming language.
put it this way, spreadsheet is the first low-code programming environment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, you
Traditionally,
should
what?
see a lot of like
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
and that's it. There is also a very user-friendly user interface.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
yeah, a lot of
Correct.
businesses survive just doing spreadsheets and doing like mom and pop programming. Like they
yep.
just do their own programming and then I'm not a programmer and I do my business, but they're actually like
Yeah.
quite they have that mentality. They have that attitude of solving problems and thinking through things algorithmically.
Uh, okay. So, but it's not. Yeah. So Europe actually had these guys. EU. These guys are like apparently from description they are SEAL Team 6 of the spreadsheet world because policy are in
Mm.
made in spreadsheet and it's not perfect. That's the thing. It's awesome, but it's not perfect. So the European government actually sponsored a group that actually fix spreadsheet for people because it's that. Yeah, I should share this story. It's cool. There is also one
Yeah. Yeah,
task
so Andy
force.
is saying VBA, fantastic Google Forms. Yeah, so you don't even need VBA. So if you think of a spreadsheet as each of the cells are actually variables, and then each
Yeah.
column or each row is actually an array of those variables, you
Yep.
store something in a variable. Like you either define it as hard coded, or it can be the result of a computation from a different variable or from like a constant, and that's it's actually a full thing. It can be treated as a programming language.
Yeah. It's Turing complete. I believe it's Turing complete. I could be
Hmm.
wrong. So let's move around. So let's go really ahead because we got 15 minutes. So for today is the first one is interesting because I literally solve it within pretty easily for the first part. Uh, so what the first part does is there is actually you have to connect a string of numbers based on the rules. So this is the easy part, right? The hard part for me is I don't understand how to do it. I can't get the answer straight. So what happened is I actually looked at solution. Where is that? I'm so sorry, but I lost it.
Look at that. The Elmo one is that we all violate our space time
Yes,
complexity.
yes, yes. Actually, I tried, but I realized that it goes crazy too fast, too soon. But then I don't understand the problem as well. I have one cool one. Let me open up. Let me open up the thing. Da 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 code. Da, da, da,
Yeah,
da, 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 da.
so many complaints about the part 2 this day today.
Yeah. Yes. It's jumped too fast, too soon. In my opinion. Solution mega track.
Yeah, it's a bit of spoiler.
Yeah, this is spoiler, but so the
I
more interesting solution is found here if I can still find it. Essentially, what the author does is they essentially use dictionary.
Oh, this
Not
is
this one.
short.
Yeah, I try to understand why. I really try to understand why. Excel again. What's it? This one. So essentially, what the author does is he uses a default dictionary and just count the connection. Why I don't understand. To be, I hope I can find it. Not this one. It's on GitHub.
You kind the
What
connection
are
by the links lah. That's why you need the dictionary.
Yeah, they count connection by links, but So what I do instead is which is a bit wrong is, which is totally wrong is, I take a list. Then what I do is I actually reduce the
You know,
item one by one.
you know
But
what's
I
worse?
didn't get the number.
What's worse? I actually misunderstood the problem. You see, the one that starts with 16, 10, 15, right? So I
Yeah.
thought that the first three value needs to be in all the time.
No, you don't. Yeah, that's the thing. You don't have to, right?
No,
You don't have
that's my
to.
overthinking in
Yeah.
work at work just now.
Yes. So which is why I don't understand what the hell is happening here. Okay, you know what? Let me switch to my terminal. I have it on my terminal.
Once you realize, you either you figure out or you read other people's solution, you realize that it's something really simple.
Yeah.
But that's
So
the fun of discovering it as well.
Correct. So what happened is the max is the max end. So what happened is okay, I try to increase the size. Tell me if the size is okay. Okay. The Zoom terminal. Control Shift plus plus.
Control
Interesting.
plus. Just Control plus.
I can't.
Oh, okay. Control plus, right?
Yeah. No, I pressed the wrong side. Turns out that it doesn't work on the numpad.
Okay.
So what happened is I'm showing you a solution right here. So what happened is they actually just count the connection, and they accumulate it. Why? I don't understand.
No,
I totally
by
understand.
the previous links. That's why you need a dictionary to keep track on it. So you only add if it exists on the previous link.
Okay, so which is very weird. Do I have a pen? I hope I have a pen because I'm.
So if let's say you have a window of in this case is a window of, I'm gonna have spoilers, a window of 3. So within the window of 3, for each one you're gonna accumulate the value.
So what happened is what I do is so for example, I look at this one, so you get like 3, right?
Yeah.
Let me switch to Corona data equals. I know my name is Ximing. I'm a sad person. I'm only good on shell.
Oh.
The data plus.
I actually did learn up some nice tricks and then I just replaced my solution to the nice tricks. So if next year I did a revision, I get to see the nice tricks instead of my stupid solution.
Yeah, dot append can be true, right? So then I'm going to Joe's equals data. Then the dot with equals, okay. So I set up a default dictionary just so that it doesn't sound obscene. Okay, so this is the thing that confused the hell out of me, right? Right?
You're actually
Right.
your code actually looks correct.
No, because I steal from other.
It's not correct. It's actually not correct. No,
Really?
It's actually not correct because you're not supposed to get the waste of that. So you're supposed to be an accumulation of.
So this is what they do. They accumulate.
Oh, correct. You don't have to be.
So I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to show you.
It's another way to do it. By value, then.
Yes. So you look at this. So you notice that
you build it once. You build the map once before, right?
Yes. Oh, I'm so sorry. What happened with this? Did I run it? Oh, I didn't run it. Yeah, I did run it. What the hell happened? Give me a moment. Something is wrong.
Chilyong, have you solved this particular portion?
Yeah.
Okay. I do it wrongly.
Solve it as in there's a lot of pain involved.
Now, so what are these people from Reddit complaining about? Why are they all
It's not it's not as straightforward. There's some complex. If you try to brute force it by building the, because it's actually it's a different it's a combination complexity. So for the given you can, for like originally you are given an array, but there's a certain rules that apply to the sequence of the array item. So you need to build, you have to count that how many permutation are there for the possible way to go through from the original one, how much you can reduce step by step.
So the thing is, this is what happened. Go on.
And that's why like this it's not that complex. It's just people have a laugh with it.
Yeah. It's just funny.
Once you figure out the question, once you figure out the solution, is that everything is so simple. It's just why am I overthinking this?
Yes, but I don't understand the question. That's the problem. I don't understand the question. And
I actually wasted like an hour on trying to solve the wrong answer, because for me there's an exclusivity of a certain item to be there.
Okay, here you are. So here's the data. Right? 0. This is the number that will fit the rules properly. Unfortunately, my Bluetooth is set out of battery, so I have to do this like this.
Yeah.
So you see here, this will follow the rules. 1, 3, then there is 1,
2,
1,
1.
Then all that, right? So
the next number should be within 3, 1, 2, or 3.
Yeah.
So 1 to 4 is okay. 4 to 5 is okay.
Yeah.
So for the next, we can actually for the next one we can immediately remove 4 or 5 or 6.
Yeah.
They are still okay.
You remove 5 or 6. You remove 5 or 6.
5 or 6.
No, 4.
4 is not fine. Yeah, because of 3.
Yeah, 5 or 6. Yeah. So, but how they decide it is really interesting. So what they do is, according to this, you have to remove number, right? But what they do is totally different than what you think. So what they do is they actually count connection, 0 to 1. The first thing is 0 to the first number will definitely have a connection. Then what they do is they're going to count anything that is less than.
My original one is more complicated. I built a map. So when I go to the value, let's say right now you have a sequence, right? Oh, is that a sequence? So previously I built the value map. So for, let's say if you scroll down your data, is that 22, does it have a connection like I built the connection like with the within range of 3 until 15, 16, 19 did they establish a connection? Then if there's a 3, then 22 you're gonna have 3. So then moving on, we're not gonna have 3, it will have a 15, let's say a 15, 16, and 19. So next one I'm gonna look at 15, 16, 19 to come up with that. So and then I sum it up and became that. So the original solution I did was like that.
So what I don't understand is why they accumulate the connection, because those things are like linear, right? The connection is linear, right? Am I wrong?
No, I don't know. I think your solution is wrong.
Huh?
Your solution is wrong. You think too much.
No, the number is correct at the start. But
okay. But why do you build so much? Like, you don't even need to build so much, like 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I literally steal this from a dictionary, and because I use default dictionary, so
I don't know the one that you refer to that. Mine is just that is by connection.
Show us then. Let me open up. Do people?
No, the one that I show is the one that I copy. That's why you see my commit message. Look at my commit message. Scroll up.
Okay.
Copy also master. This is more elegant.
Yeah.
When it goes through, is that you see right now I built from the start of from the start. So I built the connection of the, but I look forward of the 3 forward one, whether they exist.
Right.
Yeah. So because they give 1 or you give me 1, so you're gonna have let's say you're gonna have 1 lah. because there's 2 and 3 not exist yet, but the default is 0. So this solution is elegant. So moving to 2 is that 1 1, then you get 2 lah. It's accumulative.
Right. But which part of the code say is accumulative?
No, if you read the answer that I copied, that actually that actually clears up the problem.
Right.
This is actually this is a short answer, but also a very clear way to show the problem, to show the solution. That's why I like this answer. That's why I actually committed this.
I'm gonna commit the code that I steal from
this one is much easier to read compared to the one that I hack up. Is horrible.
Yeah, I know. I know, but okay.
See, this one is so clear, but you actually need to get used to the idea of that first lah. But better than you trying to build a tree and then traverse them.
Yes,
which is what I tried to do in the first. So bad idea. Because my answer is literally over billions. So
that's a good snapshot of the stuff that you might encounter when doing Advent of Code. So if anyone wants to try Advent of Code, make sure you join us at Engineers My.
Look at that, but people overthink, and the answer is actually very simple.
Yeah.
Yes.
So but how did they join? Yeah, sorry, Swimming.
Just Advent of Code.
Oh
how do I join the Engineers at My
very simple
group?
We have a code, but the code is not something that I share.
Yeah. No, you have to. I have to set a requirement. Just join the Engineers My Slack channel and go to code. And you can see the more sense. Don't be shy. We all because we all admit that we cheated, and this it's not something that we try. I mean, we are trying to be a snob over how people do, how pretty the code is and anything, but it's actually we admit our mistakes. Yes. If I get stuck, I do have a peek at the answer.
Yes.
So because for me the goal is to finish it.
So come join the Slack channel, engineers.my, join the Slack, join the code channel, and then ask how to join the Engineers My leaderboard. It's quite interesting. Like as you've seen Chi Leong and Xu Ming talking about like solutions about the same things, hitting like issues, making things more elegant, then it's quite
elegant is afterwards lah.
Well, the mantra, right? You first make it work and then make it
get the answer first. So let me show you my answer for this is, if you try to build a tree, so you're gonna be crazy because the sum is this. That's why I think most of us try to build a tree. So that's why I heard like Roy and Han, they ran for almost an hour and hasn't finished because of everybody like.
I didn't realize it's a tree actually. If it's a tree, then it makes sense to actually calculate the connection.
Yeah. So there's a more graceful one. So I learned something by practicing it today. Yeah.
Okay. We have a few comments, mostly by Andy, about Excel.
Yes.
Use the brute force, VBA, and he loves Excel apparently. Yep, and then there's Advent of Code and the horror stories from EU Sprig.
Yeah,
when does the new code challenge drop? Like what time, Malaysia time?
1 p.m.
1 p.m. Yeah, which is nice because that's my lunchtime. So the deadline is it has to be finished within 1 hour.
Yeah.
So Andy, start joining the leaderboard. Join the leaderboard. Excel is just fine. You know, all of like the solution that you just posted for day 10 part 2 can be run in Excel as well. Right?
Yeah.
Like I guess that's the challenge. After maybe the challenge. Yeah,
Some people
a
that
second.
let you finish first.
Yeah, so a second level challenge here is you don't have to figure out the solution. You just read through Peter Norvig or any of the elegant solutions. But the challenge there, the second level challenge or the meta challenge is to convert it in Excel. So that can be something that you can do.
There are some people coming up with crazy ways. They don't care about how long they take to finish. Sometimes they take days. Some of them they solve it in factorial.
Yes.
Like in
There is a
Minecraft.
how to solve this in.
Yeah.
There's
Some
a how
people,
to solve this.
some people solve it with Unreal Engine. They made a game to solve the issue. So
Yes.
be crazy, have fun.
Yeah, you can do the meta challenge. There's the challenge, this one, and the
Yes.
meta challenge.
I wonder if people actually do it on Shenzhen.io.
Yeah, I don't know. Do you want to try?
I doubt it.
Well,
Shenzhen
or you
IO.
can do like a machine learning. Eventually, it figures out the correct
A
answer.
brute force. Basically, a more meta level of a brute force.
Yeah.
So that being said, it's 11. So I hope I don't scare
2
you
minutes to
about
go.
that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
This Christmas
yeah,
season, I have
it'll
no idea
be-
what's the plan.
Yeah.
So next week will be 17. Then the week after will be Christmas Eve. We figure out from there.
Yeah.
Maybe we
But
just trace.
I think we
Santa
are
to
not
the-
moving around anyway for this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I'm
Yeah,
hoping-
if it's for other years, I won't be around.
Yes. So I think that's all. So thanks for listening, and as
Yeah.
usual, subscribe and all that.
Yeah,
And
join us
yeah.
join us as a Slack channel, and let's have more push it there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Merry
don't have
Christmas, Nicholas.
I don't think we have anything happening until
Yeah.
next year, lah. So I don't
Yeah,
have
things
plan
are
for anything.
things are a bit quiet right now.
Yes, precisely. So I
So-
think we should say goodbye then.
Yeah, bye folks.
Okay. Bye.
Yeah.
See you next week.
See you guys next week.
Right now.